On our wedding night, my husband received a call, smirked, and said, "Finally, the deal is done. Your role ends here." Confused, I asked what he meant. He laughed. "You were just a contract bride for my business." Tears streaming, I whispered, "Then you should check the contract again." Moments later, he collapsed in shock as he realized what I had done. I never thought I'd be one of those people with a story like this. You know the ones. The stories where someone gets betrayed so deeply it feels like a punch to the soul. But here I am. I'm Claire. I'm 33. Grew up in Grand Junction, Colorado. Small-town life, modest family. My parents are decent people, hardworking, humble. My dad runs a small auto repair shop that's been in our family for 3 generations. My mom's a cafeteria worker at a local elementary school. They taught me how to work hard, stay honest, and save what you earn. I never had anything handed to me. Everything I have, I built myself. I worked my ass off to become a CPA. I got hired at a firm in Denver. Nothing fancy, but good money, stable hours, and I liked the people. I lived alone in a small 1-bedroom condo, drove a 10-year-old Subaru, and mostly kept to myself. I wasn't looking for love. Definitely wasn't looking for someone like him. Daniel Mercer. He came into my life like a goddamn storm. I met him at a charity fundraiser for cancer research that our firm helped organize. He was tall, polished, the kind of guy that makes women do a double take. His suit probably cost more than my car, and he had this confidence like he owned the whole room. Everyone knew who he was. Mercer Hospitality. The heir to a hotel empire. He introduced himself like we were equals, asked about my job, listened when I spoke. That part really threw me off. Men like that don't usually look twice at women like me. But he did, and he kept showing up. Coffee dates, surprise visits, weekend trips, expensive gifts. I'd never experienced anything like it. I'd been with guys before, sure, but not like him. He made me feel wanted, important, like I mattered. We dated for 6 months before he proposed. I thought it was fast, but I was so deep in it I didn't care. He said all the right things, that he wanted someone real, that he was tired of shallow women chasing his money, that he saw a future with me. Looking back, I see all the red flags. But at the time, I felt lucky. The wedding was held at one of his family's resorts in Lake Tahoe. It was like something out of a magazine. Flowers flown in from Italy. String quartet. Designer dress. I had 20 guests, mostly family and a few coworkers. He had over 200 investors, CEOs, people I barely got to meet. I remember my dad whispering to me before the ceremony, "You sure about this?" I told him I was. I wish I had listened to that little voice in the back of my head. Fast forward to that night. Our wedding night. We were in the honeymoon suite. I was still in my dress, sitting on the edge of the bed, rubbing my feet. I was exhausted, but happy. Or I thought I was. He was pacing, still wearing his tux, drink in hand. His phone buzzed. He looked at the screen, smiled, then answered. "Yeah," he said. "Finally. The deal is done." I looked at him. "What deal?" He didn't even try to hide it. Just laughed. Set his drink down and said, "Your role ends here." I stared at him, not understanding. "What do you mean?" He turned toward me. Cold. Smirking. "You were a contract bride, Claire. The board needed to see stability before they signed off on the merger. Investors wanted a family man. Someone settled. A marriage tied it all up nicely. But now that the deal's finalized, well, thanks for playing." I couldn't speak. My mouth was open, but no sound came out. He went on like he was proud. "It's not personal. You played your part well. You'll get a generous divorce settlement. Don't worry. This isn't a scam. It's business." I felt everything inside me crack. My knees went weak, and I had to hold onto the dresser to stay upright. I wanted to scream, cry, run, but I didn't. I just looked at him. And I said, very quietly, Then you should check the contract again. He blinked. What? I walked over to the nightstand and picked up the red folder I'd kept tucked in my bag. I handed it to him. You never really read the prenup, did you? He flipped it open, impatient. What is this? Page 17, I said. Calm now. Completely calm. He found the page and started reading. His eyes moved fast at first, then slower. His lips stopped moving. His hand started to shake. What the hell is this? You made me your legal spouse. And you agreed to transfer 10% of Mercer Hospitality shares to your spouse upon legal marriage, effective immediately. It's in there. You signed it. You said you didn't want anything I didn't, I snapped. I loved you. I trusted you. Until I saw the emails you left open 2 weeks ago. You were already planning to dump me right after the wedding. So I changed the draft. You didn't notice. You forged this. That's fraud. No, I said. I didn't forge anything. I used your old draft, the one your lawyer sent me first. You rejected it back then. But you left your version open on your laptop. You walked away. So I printed your version, put it in the folder, and when we sat down to sign, you didn't even read it. You signed your own original agreement. He was breathing hard now. His face was pale. Hands clenched. I'll fight this. I smiled. Good luck. I already filed it. My lawyer has it. Your name's on every page. He collapsed onto the bed, phone slipping from his hand. That's when I walked out. But that wasn't the end. Not even close. I didn't go back to our condo in Denver after that night. I got a hotel near the airport and stayed up till morning, sending emails, making phone calls. I had a plan. And I wasn't done yet. Daniel didn't call me for 3 days. Then the text started. We need to talk. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Call me. Now. I didn't answer. I let him stew. Let him wonder. Day 4, his assistant, some poor woman named Rachel, left me a voicemail. She said Daniel was under extreme stress and wanted to resolve things amicably. I almost laughed out loud. That word, amicably, it always comes up when rich people realize they're not in control anymore. My lawyer, Naomi, was a godsend. She worked with me for years doing small business taxes and trusts, but her real passion was corporate law. When I showed her the prenup and explained everything, she smiled like a shark smelling blood. This isn't just revenge, she said. This is leverage. I let Naomi deal with the business side while I focused on something else, the public side. I knew the investors. I'd met several at the wedding. I knew the media outlets Mercer Hospitality dealt with. Their PR firm. Their social manager. I even remembered the name of the woman Daniel had been sleeping with, Lauren, some 29-year-old brand strategist who showed up at the wedding pretending to be his cousin. Yes, I knew everything, and I was done being quiet. First, I contacted a reporter at the Denver Herald. Local, but trusted. I told her everything, gave her proof, emails, texts, timelines. She sat in silence while I walked her through it. You understand this will explode, right? She said. That's the point. The story went live on Monday morning. Billionaire groom's bride speaks out. He said I was just a contract. It wasn't just gossip. It was business fraud. Misrepresentation to investors. Ethical violations. Suddenly, Mercer Hospitality wasn't just a luxury brand. It was a headline. Daniel called me 7 times in 1 hour. I ignored every call. That night, I got a message from someone I didn't expect, Daniel's older brother, Marcus. He asked to meet. We sat down at a steakhouse in Denver, just the 2 of us. He ordered a bourbon. I ordered tea. It was awkward at first, but then he leaned in and said, "You're smarter than him." I knew it the second I met you. I raised an eyebrow. And what do you want? He didn't beat around the bush. Dad's thinking about cutting Daniel out. The board is in full panic mode. They're afraid this scandal could tank the merger. If that happens, the company bleeds. Fast. So, So, you're in a position to control 10%. That gives you a seat at the table. I sat back in my chair, silent. He kept going. You could make this go away. Help clean it up. Or, you could let it burn. I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. I left without making any promises. That night, Daniel showed up at my hotel. He looked like hell. Hair messed up, no tie, eyes bloodshot. He begged to come in. I let him. Please, he said. Let's talk. Really talk. I stared at him, arms crossed. I was under pressure. The board, the merger, I didn't mean to hurt you. I thought it was the only way. I didn't think you'd find out. That's not an apology, I said. That's a confession that you thought I was stupid. He looked down. What do you want? I already have what I want, I said. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. His eyes narrowed. You'd really take this to the end? You took me to the altar under false pretenses, I said. You turned me into a pawn. You think I won't make you regret that? He stood up, jaw tight. You're making a mistake. No, I said, opening the door. You did. And just like that, he was out again. But the storm wasn't over. It was just starting to move through the rest of his life. I didn't expect to feel this hollow after he left that night. You'd think revenge would feel satisfying. Like flipping the final card in a game of poker and watching your opponent lose everything. But instead, I felt heavy, numb. I didn't sleep. The next day, Naomi called. Her voice was sharp, fast. We've got a problem. My stomach dropped. Daniel just filed an injunction. He's claiming the prenup is invalid due to fraudulent misrepresentation. He's trying to freeze your voting rights. I swore under my breath. Is that even possible? It's weak, she said. But it could slow things down. Which is probably what he wants. Delay, deflect, drag it out until the merger's secured. I felt sick. He wasn't backing off. He was doubling down. He also hired his ex-lawyer back, Naomi added. The one known for scorched earth tactics. Of course he did. I had a decision to make. I could fight it out quietly through legal channels, wait 6 months for a court to rule, or I could hit him again. Publicly. And this time, I wasn't going to play defense. I made a call to the same Denver Herald reporter. Told her I had more texts between Daniel and Lauren. Yes, the cousin. Emails where he mocked the board, even a video clip where he joked about buying a bride cheaper than a campaign ad during a private event I'd secretly recorded on his phone. He'd been drunk, arrogant, and unaware I'd found the backup folder on his cloud. The reporter was stunned. Claire, if I run this, it's going to end his career. Maybe his freedom. I'm not doing this out of spite, I said. I'm doing it because I was used. And because he's still trying to bury me. The story went live 3 days later. This time, it didn't just hit the business section, it made national news. Mercer Hospitality's stock dropped 17% in 2 days. Daniel's father released a statement distancing the company from his son's independent actions. The board voted to temporarily suspend him pending an internal investigation. And Lauren? She released her own statement, claiming Daniel had promised her a VP position once the merger went through. That she was misled. That she had receipts. Everything he built was starting to collapse. But that's when things got weird. 2 days after the story hit, I noticed someone following me. A black SUV parked across from my hotel. Same guy, same car, multiple days. I couldn't prove anything, but I felt it. Eyes on me. Naomi advised me to stay somewhere new. I left Denver and went to stay with a friend in Boulder for a while. Then one night, my friend's car got broken into. Nothing stolen. Just rummaged through. I called Naomi. He's getting desperate, she said. I'm not scared, I told her. You should be. Desperate men make stupid moves. I didn't respond. But I was already planning my next move. If Daniel wanted to turn this into a war, he was about to find out I didn't lose battles, I finished them. I went dark for 2 weeks. No media. No contact with anyone except Naomi. We used encrypted calls. I was careful. I didn't want Daniel knowing where I was, what I was doing. Because while he was busy trying to freeze my shares and control the narrative, I was digging. Naomi had a contact in a private intelligence firm. A guy named Eli. He started going through Daniel's financials, offshore accounts, shell companies, everything we could get our hands on through legal backdoors. We found something. Daniel hadn't just misled me. He hadn't just tricked the board. He had lied to the SEC. The merger paperwork included falsified marital status dates, forged letters of character, and fake financial disclosures. He'd covered up debts. He made it all look like I was his long-term partner to give the illusion of stability and maturity. That wasn't just immoral. It was criminal. We gathered the files, built a timeline. Eli packaged everything into a nice little bomb and gave it a name, the Mercer Deception. I handed it to the reporter. She took one look and said, "This will bury him." I nodded. Good. She paused. You ready for the blowback? It won't be pretty. I wasn't pretty when he used me. I'm not interested in being pretty now. The story hit every major outlet within 24 hours. CNN, Forbes, even TMZ got a slice. SEC launches formal investigation into Mercer Air after bride exposes financial deception. That was the headline. Daniel was arrested 3 days later. They didn't cuff him at home. They waited until he was walking into a board meeting, surrounded by cameras. He tried to laugh it off, but no one was laughing. And just like that, he was done. The board removed him. The merger collapsed. Investors pulled out. Stock tanked. Lauren deleted all her socials and disappeared. His father released a brutal statement calling Daniel a deep embarrassment and no longer associated with any business decisions. But here's the part one haven't told you yet. When Naomi sent the final legal forms over, when she said, "You've won," I felt hollow, numb again. Like all this fire had burned out the parts of me that used to feel joy. I thought taking him down would heal me. I thought watching him lose everything would give me peace. It didn't. Because somewhere in all of this, I had changed too. I became someone cold. Someone calculating. I had to. It was survival. But I can't pretend I didn't enjoy parts of it. I can't pretend I didn't want him to suffer more than he ever made me suffer. And that makes me guilty too. My parents stopped talking to me after the second article. Said it was too public, too ugly. I haven't spoken to them in months. Some people call me a hero online. Others call me a gold digger. I don't correct either side. Let them think what they want. I still have the shares. 10% of Mercer Hospitality is mine, and no one can take it now. But I've refused every offer to sit on the board. I don't want to lead a company built on lies. I want to forget I ever knew Daniel Mercer. But I can't, because every time I walk past a mirror, I see the woman I became just to take him down. And I wonder if she's someone I can live with. The truth? I don't know. All I know is this: he underestimated me. And now he'll never forget me. Not as long as he lives.